This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. With the expansion and continued upgrades at Princess Margaret Hospital, government is now being urged to quickly introduce national health insurance. Cleopatra Murphy was there.
Chaplain of the Princess Margaret Hospital, Canon Sebastian Campbell, is urging government to meet its self-imposed deadline for the implementation of national health insurance. January 1st, 2016 is the target date for the rollout of the health plan that will give Bahamians universal access to affordable health care.
Please do not gamble with another election before the full implementation of national health insurance. Don't gamble. The country needs it.
National health insurance will cost about $600 million. Costa Rican accounting firm Sanagist International was hired by government in May 2014 to determine the cost of implementation. That report was received in September. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie revealed that the plan will be rolled out in phases, with Phase 1 an estimated $350 million. Speaking at the blessing of the new critical care block, Canon Campbell said the cost should not be a factor.
No costs must be considered prohibitive. It's inhumane and unchristian and unbelievable how we allow money to determine life and death in our rapidly developing country.
According to Campbell, the health initiative should work in conjunction with the expansion and upgrades at PMH. He says to oppose it is unchristian, as it will help the masses.
National health insurance is an initiative of love and ought to strike the death blow to the dehumanizing of our people, who must rake and scrape around the fires of cookouts and begging on the streets with their bottles and their jars, simply trying to stay alive.
When the Christie administration first moved to implement NHI in 2002, estimates were that it would cost $235 million annually. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
BTC tonight is responding to complaints about the double charging of value-added tax on prepaid mobile top-up by vendors. In a press statement issued this evening, BTC officials say that is not charged at the point of purchase for mobile top-up. It's only charged at the point of usage only for all prepaid mobile services. And as such, customers are charged VAT for all calls, text messages, and data plans. Now, as for those customers who have indicated that they have been charged VAT at the point of purchase, BTC officials say they should contact the call center at 225-5282 to report the instances and the merchant involved. BT says that it will continue in its efforts to provide necessary information on charges relative to VAT. These efforts will include a mobile text message which will go to all mobile users providing details on VAT charges. Updates will also be posted on BTC's social media pages. The value-added tax era is here, and some people have expressed concern over what the taxes will be used for. Government has indicated that some $200 million will be collected from VAT. With such a hefty figure in mind, Chairman for the Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, was just another voice to question how those collected taxes will be spent by government.
I don't believe that the public, much like the Free National Movement, is confident that they will follow through on spending the $200 million or so on the deficit. If they are going to, they would implement the Fiscal Responsibility Act that actually constrains them. And even if they want to argue we're putting it in place to constrain future governments, it would make sense. But we don't expect that they will follow through on what they said.
While Progressive Liberal Party National Chairman Bradley Roberts said tax reform is necessary when asked to respond to those concerns raised by members of the public. His comments came during a press conference this week at the PLP headquarters.
So the government has to adjust and to pay back and reduce debt as the first item of priority. And that is going to take some time. That is not an overnight thing. So anyone who has in their mind that once VAT is introduced, that the government is going to be able to wave a magic wand and all the ails of the Bahamas will go. No, it's going to take years to do that.
Students returned to school today after the holiday break, and for Yellow Elder Primary School students, they got a little extra help crossing the road. LaDon Davis was back to school early this morning and tells us all about it.
Traffic came to a halt at the busy thoroughfare near the Yellow Elder Primary School early Wednesday morning, as primary school students escorted by their parents were the first to be guided by the expertise of at least 7 newly trained crossing guards. Crossing guard Robert Newbold says he, along with 6 others, took on this responsibility to ensure that all of the students arrived to school unharmed.
This is a very exciting day and a very exciting job for me, because there was a issue of kids them being knocked down and everything, and it is good that the minister has taken this into such consideration. For me, myself and my squad mates and everything, it's a privilege and a pleasure to be doing something like this.
With nearly 900 students, Principal Kendall Burrows says it's been a long time coming, but his team is excited about this initiative.
We have had 1 or 2 accidents, and in fact we had 1 or 2 where our students were actually knocked down. So seeing this morning, the Lord know, if I could have shouted, I would have shouted, but believe it or not, we are happy, and I'm certain the parents are happy.
Road Safety Project Officer Karen Mortimer says, based on a series of observations, the school was in dire need of road safety assistance.
Observation, I observed on a number of occasions that near misses of kids, crossing the streets the wrong way, and I'm not making sure that the car stops, and car had to stop suddenly in order to accommodate them to cross safely. So that was one of our main concerns on introducing this back.
Those crossing guards will be stationed around the school's premises 5 days a week from 8 a.m. to 4 in the afternoons. Meanwhile, several other schools in the area will be introduced to the new road safety initiative sometime this week. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
Police tonight are searching for 3 men wanted for a shooting that has left 1 man in serious condition. 2 men were sitting in front of a home at New Hope Drive last night when 3 men pulled up in a gold Nissan Premier vehicle and fired several shots at them before speeding off. One of the men was shot multiple times to the body and the other was shot to the hip area. Both of them were transported to hospital, where 1 male remains in serious condition. The other was discharged. In a special series of interviews beginning Monday, Fern Carey sits down with some extraordinary women who shared their extraordinary experiences during majority rule back on January 10th, 1967.
I feel that we have arrived at a particular point. There are many more for us to claim. Okay? Government Hill is fine. I mean, that's as far as we go now, but I still feel there's more there for us, man. And look here, you understand?
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.